Morning, folks. My name is Mr. Pellegrino. You can call me Mr. P. And I'm here today to present to you explanations for a AP Biology constructed response question. Today we're going to be looking at a question from 2019. Let me share my screen with you and we will get this going. So as I said, my name is Mr. P. I'm here with the Our Team Institute. I have a number of roles with the College Board and ETS and the AP folks. Number one, I am a rater, which means I do read and grade questions, which gives me some inside information as how these questions are graded. And number two, I'm also a question writer, which means that I write questions that after they get edited quite a bit end up on the exam. So that gives me some inside information as well. So let's dive into this particular question. I chose number 3 on 2019. Question number 3 is the first of the shorter constructed response questions. This one is worth 4 points altogether. I'll tell you how you get each one of the 4 points. Question 3, since it's still early in the actual exam, is usually one that is a student's attempt. And if you attempt it at all, and even if you don't get anything right, you get a 0. And we noticed that this question had a good number of attempts, but as I show you the vital statistics, you'll see that many students did not score well on it. And I guess it is because it's about cellular respiration, which tends to be a difficult topic for students. Let me read it. The pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, PDC, catalyzes the conversion of pyruvate to acetyl-CoA, the substrate for the Krebs or citric acid cycle. The rate of pyruvate conversion is greatly reduced in individuals with PDC deficiency, a rare disorder. You want to identify the cellular location where PDC is most active. You want to make a claim about how PDC deficiency affects the amount of NADH produced by glycolysis and the amount of NADH produced by the Krebs or citric acid cycle in the cell. Provide reasoning to support your claims based on the position of the PDC catalyzed reaction in the sequence of cellular respiration. And then C, PDC deficiency is caused by mutations in the PDHA1 gene, which is located on the X chromosome. A male with PDC deficiency and a homozygous female with no family history of PDC deficiency have a male offspring. You want to calculate the probability that the male offspring will have PDC deficiency. Each bold-faced word, identify, make a claim, provide reasoning, calculate, are worth a point. And that's how you get the value of this question to be worth 4 points. Let's take a look at the vital statistics of the question. As I said, it's 4 points. The mean was 1.68, standard deviation 1.33, which means for the majority of test takers, they had 0.35 to 3.01 as their score. With such a low range of scores, we know that many people attempted this question, but then took a 0 on it. So let's break down each part of the question. Let's start with the part A solution. This is a diagram that I showed you so that you can figure out the location. This is pyruvate and the cytosol or cytoplasm right here. And this reaction takes place as the pyruvate crosses into the mitochondria right here. As we are going to chop off a carbon from the pyruvate, and we see where that carbon dioxide comes from right here in the black. We chop off that CO2, we make an NADH plus H plus molecule, and then we are going to attach what's left to this coenzyme A, to acetyl-CoA. So you have 2 correct responses here. You can say very simply, it takes place in the mitochondria, or you can say it takes place in the mitochondrial matrix. Nothing more than that. Please don't write more than that, because if you start adding wrong information, you negate your right information. So keep it simple for these parts, and take your point where you can get it. For number 2, we are making a claim about how PDC deficiency affects the amount of NADH produced in 2 parts, and then provide reasoning to support your claim. So you get 1 point per row, 2 points max. So for glycolysis, there would be no change, because the reaction takes place after glycolysis takes place. So you can say your reasoning is because the reaction takes place before the conversion of pyruvate to acetyl-CoA. Glycolysis happens without the need for PDC, or something similar to that. So you have to have that there's no change, and you have to have a reason that's based in facts about glycolysis. That combination will get you a point. The Krebs cycle occurs after the conversion of pyruvate to acetyl-CoA. So you are going to expect a decrease, because all of a sudden you're not going to be making acetyl-CoA anymore. So the reasons given here, the Krebs cycle is greatly reduced or slowed down if there is no less acetyl-CoA, or the Krebs cycle occurs after the conversion, so you're not going to make as much. The combination of decrease and reasoning that backs up that decrease will get you the 2 points. You could get 1 point out of 2 if you only do one of the 2 correctly. There's no mix and match here. If you have no change and a wrong reason, no point. If you have the wrong claim, but for some reason get correct reasoning, there's no point. You got to get the combination correct. And there are no half points here. So it's either the point or nothing. Okay, so on to part C. We're to calculate the probability that the male offspring will have PDC deficiency. So just to review with you, XX genotype would be female, and the XY genotype would be male. I'll use a plus sign for normal and a negative sign for having PDC deficiency. So a normal male would be X plus Y. Excuse me, remember that the Y chromosome is blank. X minus Y would be a male that is PDC deficient. We have 3 possible genotypes for females: X plus, which is a normal female; X plus, X minus, which is a carrier female. They are carrying a recessive allele but don't have the disease. And then X minus would be a PDC deficient female. However, this is rare because the disease is very serious, so it would be difficult for a male to survive to reproduce with a carrier female. So our mating is X plus, X plus. And you might say, couldn't the female be a carrier? And it's possible, but then you're told in the problem that there is no family history of the disease. No family history, then we're going to assume that the woman is homozygous dominant. And there's a male, X minus Y. So we have, we get 2 carrier females, but notice that the females are inheriting the trait, or I'm sorry, the males are inheriting the trait from their mother. So notice both males are X plus Y. This means that the probability of inheriting the trait is 0. You could also say that the offspring cannot or will not have PDC deficiency, and get it correct as well. So that's our look at a particular question on the AP exam. Certainly in a review class, we can give you even more explanations for more questions and get you to start thinking like the AP folks do, which will certainly help you get a better grade on the AP exam. So thanks for joining me today, folks, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Take care.